Greetings, everyone. This is Danny from hartravel.com, your cruise experts, and I am really excited to spend this time with you wherever it is that you are. I know half the United States is pretty much frozen solid right now. We've actually talked to a lot of our guests over the last couple of days, weeks. Southern California here, we're still holding out with some sunshine, but hopefully you're safe, you're happy, you're healthy wherever it is that you are, and ready to talk cruise. And that's what we're going to do here tonight. Once again, really excited to spend the time with you. My name is Danny. I'm the owner of Har Travel. I've been on nearly 300 cruises, spent almost 1,500 nights of my life at sea. I love everything cruise. We sell a ton of them. We are a travel agency. Many of you know us from our videos. And what this is all about, I'm just going to go over the top news stories for the last week, and then I'm going to answer all of your questions. So make sure and keep the questions coming. Happy to answer those. We treat it kind of like an AMA, and Ask Me Anything format. And once again, happy to dig in and see what we can do for you. So I'm going to kick off the cruise news. But before we do, wanted to make another exciting announcement. Last week, we had a dedicated Royal Caribbean Live where we gave away a balcony cabin for 4. The week before, we did a Norwegian specific live. If you would like to join us next week, we're going to be doing an Everything Celebrity Cruises. So I do have to read you kind of the quick disclaimer there, and then we'll jump right into the cruise news. But if you'd like to join us, it's going to be next Wednesday, February 4th, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 Eastern, same as now. You can enter to win a cruise. You must be present to win, but we'll be giving away a celebrity cruise for up to 4 guests, either to Alaska or the Caribbean. And if you're interested, once again, we'd love for you to join us. The great Daniel has posted, if you scroll up on the comments, you'll see the link. All you have to do is sign up for that StreamYard link. Whether you can attend or not, it'll send you the video if you can't. Once again, we'd love for you to join us. Have to say that it's not affiliated with, or the giveaway is not sponsored by YouTube in any way. So once again, we'd love for you to join us. We'll also be doing another Royal Live a little bit later in February and another Norwegian Live. So it's been really popular. Of course, love giving away a cruise. I get my Oprah moment, if you will. But it's been a big week for cruise news. It's been a chilly week across America as well, as we all know. And just for fun, yesterday was our top day in business we've ever had. We think it's because so many people were home with family, with all the cold. So thank you for booking with Har Travel. We love hearing from you about that as well. The shout outs for our advisors always make my day. So, but let's kick it off here, and we'll start off with Royal News. Like I said, we will be coming to you live in a couple weeks for another Royal specific live. But big news for Legend of the Seas is she's going to be available ahead of schedule. What that means is they've added an additional Mediterranean sailing on July 4th. So this is the second time that they've added some more sailings up front. We're looking to get on just before that to do our filming. But if you've wanted to be on that Legend inaugural, let us know. We'd love for you to join. And I was on the very first cruise of Icon, the very first cruise of Star, and it is so much fun. They always do some extra giveaways for you in the cabin, some swag, but there's just something cool about always knowing that you are the very first on board a ship. So once again, Legend of the Seas adding a July 4th, 2026 sailing. And we did mention this in last week's live. I just wanted to point it out again. Currently, Royal has canceled Labadee through December of this year. And, once again, a lot of unknowns in Haiti. Feel very sad for the people there. As always, it's the people that suffer when things like that happen. But of course, Royal Caribbean is working with the U.S. Department of State. And based on their recommendations, no ships will be returning to Labadee prior to December of 2026. That said, Perfect Day at Coco Cay is phenomenal. We also know that Royal Beach Club, we're getting rave reviews from our guests. Once again, you're never sure about something that's new like that. It does come at an additional cost versus Labadee or Perfect Day at Coco Cay or the soon to come Perfect Day Mexico. So once again, if you have any questions, keep them coming. I'm going to go through the news, and then I'm going to answer every single one of your questions there. Okay. All right, there we go. Continuing down, port development. Guys, this is something I'm really excited about. There is going to be a brand new port in Los Angeles. So the Outer Harbor Terminal, or the Outer Harbor Port, it exists today. In fact, if you go back and watch our videos, it's where we filmed the Regent Seven Seas Mariner. It's where we filmed the Silver Shadow. And currently, it's where they have overflow parking. But what we're really excited about is they're going to be building a massive cruise terminal that can hold 2 ships there. It looks a little bit like a spaceship, or kind of like the Apple Cupertino office, that kind of a big saucer. But I love that location. It's really easy to access. And then they're fully redeveloping the current port in San Pedro as well. But by having that outer harbor, just saying, guys, Royal, give me that Oasis or Icon class ship that we deserve here on the West Coast. We're ready. And we're even building a terminal for you. So there we go. And of course, if you ever visit the Port of Los Angeles, or you have a cruise sailing out, my highest recommendation is either before or after your cruise, go by and visit the USS Iowa. It's a retired battleship that was actually, believe it or not, operated as late as Desert Storm, and even a little bit after that. So she fought in World War II, Vietnam, Korea, and even into some modern entanglements. But it's so cool to explore, to see it, and to kind of see what a battleship's all about. Very similar, if you've ever been to Pearl Harbor, you can visit the battleship Missouri, which is where the armistice was signed between the U.S. and, the Allies and the Axis, if you will. So awesome. All right. Currently, let's see what else we've got. So Norwegian. This is actually a change that I'm totally okay with. So you can book air 2 different ways through Norwegian. They have their BOGO air. We call it the NCL no choice air, because there is no choice. You can bid on some options, but big change. If you're booking any of Norwegian's air, you now have to. It's required. They will only book your air if you arrive the day prior or earlier to your cruise. And I think this weekend is a great reason why. Right? Lots of people miss cruises because there was I think in the last week, there's been like something like 15, 16,000 canceled flights due to weather. So we always recommend that you go in at least a day early. And Norwegian is now saying, because, if you don't and you book their air, it's their job to get you to the next port. They're now saying you can book their air. You got to book a day early. So once again, really and totally good with that. We recommend that for our guests as well. And speaking of Norwegian, those of you who are on the East Coast have a brand new terminal to take advantage of, and that is Philadelphia. So it's a great city to cruise out of, the city of brotherly love, one of the best food cities in the Northeast. Absolutely love it. Did some of my master's research there at the Constitution Center. Got to spend quite a bit of time at the Constitution Center. It is a phenomenal place that every single American should visit for great reason. Lots to do in Philadelphia as well. Lots of American history going back hundreds and hundreds of years. Also some wonderful modern history as well to explore. Okay? You can go on the Jewel of the Seas. Whoops. Freud, you here? You could go on the Norwegian Jewel out of Bermuda and Canada and New England. And then it's a great option because those of you who are driving in, including some wonderful Hard Travel team members that live just a bit away. Another kind of exciting bit of Norwegian news is, for the very first time, they did an overnight stop at Great Stirrup Cay. Now, Royal did this quite a few years ago, and they decided it's not for them. And my true belief is they want you back on the ship spending money. I think that's, cruise lines are businesses. After all, they report to their shareholders. So that's kind of my take on it. But what they did is the Encore actually had to miss a port due to some port availability issues. And so they came in the late afternoon, and they spent the evening, and they were able to stay on shore up until midnight. Now, the water, everything water related did close once it got dark, just for safety purposes. But they had some dance parties, some glow parties. They had food there. And I think this is a huge win. And those of you who've done this before, MSC does All right, guys. Well, I'm back up. I apologize greatly for that. Not sure what happened there, but I guess my Wi-Fi went down for just a minute. So maybe the warm weather here is upset with the cold weather elsewhere, so it decided to go out on me. So once again, really sorry about that, but Wi-Fi is back up and running, and we're back on. So all right, let me dig in here once again. Sorry about that. Okay, so I was talking about the Norwegian Encore stayed overnight at Great Stirrup Cay. And then what I was saying is this is something that we see pretty often from MSC Cruises. And I love their private island. If you want to check that out, guys, we've got the video filmed, all of it. You're definitely going to be able to see it. And if you'd like to try the Yacht Club, it's quite a fantastic product there. So once again, selling a lot more of it and getting a lot of phenomenal feedback from our guests. All right, the Norwegian Aura went on sale yesterday. Well, last week. But yesterday and today, we started putting out our videos for the Aura. So we'll have a full ship walkthrough, a preview, if you will, in a couple days. We have all the rooms and suites out there. Tomorrow, we'll have all the Haven suites to dig in. And we are so incredibly excited for the Aura, having their biggest ship they've ever built. And I was digging in a little bit further today with my little guy. My son loves water slides. He loves everything cruise ships. He's 3, by the way. And he was pointing out to me all the favorites, but there's 5 different slides on board, an incredible ropes course. You've got the rock climbing wall, but they've expanded everything. The adults only Vibe Beach Club is significantly larger, better hot tubs, all of that fun. And then in addition to that, you're going to find some brand new suites in different locations. But of course, we went over that in depth on our Norwegian walkthrough, and we'll hit you up on that next week as well. I just wanted to point out for those who are just joining, at the top of the comments, if you'd like, we're going to be doing a celebrity live next week. It's going to be on February 4th. We'll be giving away a free cruise. You got to be there. So you got to sign up through the link if you'd like to join us. And then once again, we'd love to dig in. We gave a Royal cruise away last week, a Norwegian cruise the week before, celebrity next week. And we're going to keep doing that every month as our guests have given us incredible feedback. So thank you so much for that. Regent, update on the Regent 7 Seas Prestige, the most luxurious vessel ever built. And what I wanted to point out is we thought that they went big with the Regent suites on the Grandeur, the Splendor, and of course the Explorer. These new Regent suites are 6,000 plus square feet. It's 2 stories high. You have your own spa in the suite with unlimited spa treatments in your suite or in the spa. You have your own dining room in the back of the ship. You have a car and driver at every single port. And here's the thing that blows my mind. It's still less expensive than the Ultimate Family Townhouse per day on Royal Caribbean. So, but if you're interested, we've got a full video of the Regent Suite on the Grandeur and the Splendor and the Explorer. But we just found out that we're going to be flying over early. We'll get on the Regent Prestige and film, and we can't wait to share her with you. All right, continuing along in the Norwegian Cruise Line family, you have Oceania Sonata. So this is their new build, their brand new concept ship, and the keel was just laid. Now, what I love about this is they're truly moving into the ultra luxury realm. The ship is quite a bit bigger than their previous ships, but with just a smidge more people. There's more suites, there's larger rooms and suites, new restaurant concepts. They've got all your favorites and much, much more. I'm really, really, really excited for the updated Red Ginger. I love the dining options there. It's absolutely delicious. All right. So continuing along, the Queen Mary 2, a ship that I love because she is probably the last ocean liner that will ever be built. She's not a cruise ship. She is an ocean liner. You could call her a cruise ship if you like, but she's doing her very first transit of the Panama Canal. Now, when this ship was built, it was the biggest ship ever built, took the mantle from Royal Caribbean and their Voyager class ships. And then Royal built the Freedom class and Oasis and Quantum, all of them that are a lot bigger. But what's so cool about this is the Queen Mary 2, in very short period of time, will be lining up right next to the Queen Mary. So these ships built, 100 years apart are going to get to meet. We have some great family history. My wife's grandma Nani, she actually went to England. Her dad was in the Air Force and went to England on the Queen Mary by herself as an 8-year-old. That's something that they used to do back in the day. So just some cool family history. We've got some great pictures. And she lived in Long Beach for most of her life. She has passed, but done some of my favorite cruises with Grandma Nani. So just thought I'd give her a shout out there. A bit of culinary news on the Diamond Princess. So just for fun, guys, the Diamond Princess and Sapphire Princess are two of Princess's mega ships. They were built in Japan at Mitsubishi Yards. And so they're actually both going to be sailing in the Japanese market next year. They're both very popular. They've been updated and upgraded to have very specific, items on board, like the spa is designed in a way that would be much more familiar with the Japanese population than the North American population. So one of my favorites is they're adding the Crown Grill and Mikado. So Mikado is their sushi restaurant. Crown Grill is the steakhouse. So they're just finishing up a major upgrade to the Diamond Princess, and she'll be sailing there. Okay. And I think that's all of the super big cruise news. I'm going to jump right into the questions, guys. And as always, as I mentioned, I've spent almost 1,500 nights at sea. We sell all the major cruise lines, and I'm happy to answer all the questions for you on here. It makes me really happy. And of course, thank you for the opportunity to book your cruise. Our team, we've got an incredible team at Hard Travel. They live for this. They're passionate about what they do. And all of us here can't wait to make your next cruise happen. So I'm going to go through the questions. Keep them coming, guys. I'd love to answer them all, and I'll stay on as long as it takes to get all those answered for you. What's up with you, Mickey? Super excited, by the way, guys. I'm not sure if you know, but we do sell Disney cruises, and my family and I, in just a few short weeks, are going to be traveling on the Disney Treasure. And so excited. My little guy's never been on a Disney cruise. It's been 6 years since my daughter has. My wife never has as well. So anyway, I saw Mickey and I got excited. Hello, Stephen. How are you doing after the surgery? Great question. I appreciate that greatly. So basically, they put a block in my back, a nerve block. And so the full relief is going to be felt over the coming months. But I will say, starting to feel relief already. You can see I'm sitting up. I had this on Friday. And thank you. Thank you for asking about that. It's been a pretty stressful time, but we're working. Actually, was just on the phone with Norwegian right before this. Starting in March, we're going to be hopping back on board and filming on ship post injury. So thanks so much. I love your videos. Going to Antarctica on Celebrity by way of Buenos Aires. Need help with pre-cruise hotel. Heard bad things about that port. Well, I've heard nothing bad about Buenos Aires. I adore Buenos Aires. It's one of my favorite cities, not only in South America, but in the world. Unbelievable food. If you're a carnivore like me, you're going to really, really love it. But go in early. Buenos Aires is an incredible city. There's lots of places to stay, but all you got to do is reach out to your Hard Travel advisor who booked the cruise for you, or CE at Hard Travel. That's our customer experience team. So CE at Hard Travel, and we'll be happy to help you get that booked. We can even put together a pre-package for you for a couple days. But we did that on our way to Antarctica last year. We actually did a fly-in. So it was a charter flight from Buenos Aires to Ushuaia. And then we boarded the ship in Ushuaia and went all the way down to Antarctica and back. My 8-year-old actually did the polar plunge with me. So she's a brave young lady. She also went to Egypt last year too. But reach out. Buenos Aires is a world-class city, incredible entertainment. Take a tango lesson, go to a tango show. Also, maybe go in early and explore a little more of Argentina. Mendoza is one of my favorite spots. It's a quick hop up to Iguazu Falls. Lots of incredible things to do. Amy, it's so wonderful to see you as well as always. I love seeing the name. Hello, Celebrity Cruises are amazing. Couldn't agree with you more. Diamond Plus on Royal, but for a change, doing the Haven on NCL. NCL and the Haven depends on the ship. I'm going to go with Epic Forward. It's just a truly incredible world-class luxury experience. Royal does an amazing job, but I wouldn't say that they do luxury the way that NCL does. The yacht style service for dining, the white tablecloths. I mean, literally in the Haven, you see them in between. They're in the back, and they steam the tablecloths in between. The butler service, all of it, you're going to love it. You're going to be blown away. Danny, I hope you're feeling better. Just curious, why does Princess not mail out the medallions to first-time cruisers? Or am I missing something? I believe that they do, as long as you have everything filled out and you've got what they call the green line access. But shoot a quick message over to your Hard Travel advisor, or once again, CE, our customer experience team at hardtravel.com. They'll look up your reservation and they'll help you get that set. Hello. All right. Royal used to give exceptions to their deluxe beverage package if you called and explained your situation. My wife can't drink due to her autoimmune medications. Will Royal give any exceptions? Unfortunately, Mickey, the answer is no. And I hate to say this, but it's because people, probably not you, abused it. And for Royal, that became a tricky and a difficult thing. So they've just gotten rid of those exceptions. So I am sorry to tell you that. Since they made that announcement, we have not been able to get any exceptions ourselves. Hello. We have the same issue. Yep, absolutely. One thing, and maybe that doesn't work for you, but if you're traveling with other people or maybe kiddos and you have 2 rooms, sometimes we'll mix and match that way. But unfortunately, they don't give that exception anymore. All right. Love your channel. Well, I love to hear that, Kathy. It is truly a labor of love, and we're so excited. You do the best ship tours ever. Also, Celebrity Infinity next year for my 70th birthday. Canary Islands and Madeira from Barcelona. Can I take my scooter off in those ports? Now, you absolutely can, but just keep in mind that, in Europe, there's just a lot of cobblestones, which tend to not play well with scooters. But they do have excursions that are either scooter friendly or accessible, if you will. So make sure if you're doing that, you pay great attention to that. We would hate for you to get off and not be able to kind of use it. Also, as you know, transport can be a little difficult. Now it depends. Some people have the folding scooters where they can just take it, fold it, and put it right into the trunk. And others have those roll-on ones. All right, we booked the Carnival Festival balcony. Room in the aft of the ship. Can't wait. Well, I hope our Hard Travel team did that for you. Do you ever book travel for anyone anymore? I do. I book a lot of travel, and I am always open and honest. And, I travel a lot. I'm less available than our advisors, but always happy to try and give it a shot. I have a group of, I've got a lot of people that I've worked with for many years, some up to 20 years. But shoot me an email to Danny at Hard Travel. I'll do my best for you. We're going on the NCL Joy to Nassau. What is a good excursion to do? We're thinking Baha Mar. Now, I almost said Royal Beach Club. Totally get that it's NCL. Baha Mar is a great place to go. The other great place is Atlantis. You can get day passes there, especially if you want the water park. But beyond that, there's some hotel stays, resort day passes, if you want to look that up as well. But, it may also be a great time to stay on board. There's a lot of awesome things to do on the Joy. You can get all those water slides while there aren't very many people on there. Oh, yeah, and the race cars. That's a fun thing to do. I love it. Are you going to do a ship tour of the Luna? Yeah, I was actually just talking to them about whether we're going to head over to Europe and get her before she sails, or if we're going to start it at the once she gets to the U.S. MSC versus NCL, ship within a ship. Which one's better? On the newer Norwegian ships, I believe the Haven is, but there's things that I like better on MSC. So, for example, on the new big ships, like specifically World America, I love that the lounge has live music every night. And I love that the lounge is much larger there. We really, really enjoyed that. I think there's pros and cons to everything. I love the butler service on both. Another thing I love about MSC is that they include the fresh juices and specialty coffees and all that stuff in the drink package. And they have a fresh orange juice squeezer, just like you have in Italy at every gas station and restaurant. They have that at all the bars as well, too. So almost all the time, I think NCL is the higher end product. But depending on the ship, what you're looking at, don't sleep on MSC and the Yacht Club. In fact, if you want me to tell you the truth, I think the best value in cruising today is going to be the MSC Seascape out of Texas right now in the Yacht Club. Prices are super low. Service is great. Experience is phenomenal. Danny, my husband, Ed, and I discovered you via Sandals. We'd love all your videos. Thank you so much. I hope we've been booking your sandals. I know Chad, our lead for that, does an incredible job and love to help you. Booked a sunset veranda on the Apex. Any must-dos in St. Kitts or St. Thomas? So I mentioned this last stream on St. Thomas. I proposed to my wife on the beach in St. John. So nostalgia. I always love to take the ferry or an excursion that goes over to St. John. It's my favorite island in the Caribbean for a lot of reasons. But resort day passes, phenomenal. We did that at the Ritz in St. Thomas the last time. We loved their little water slide, the pool areas. The food was fantastic as well, too. And St. Kitts, it's been a minute or two since I've been there, but the last 2 times we went, we did the same thing. We did a resort pass. We've been doing a lot of those, especially because I have smaller kiddos, to be able to go set up at a resort. We either book the night before and the day of, if in essence, or we'll do the resort pass there. Love your videos, very detailed. We're going on the MSC World America in a couple months. There we go. I just talked about that. So here's, I hope you're in the Yacht Club. If you're not, no problem. But just a tip for MSC World America Yacht Club. They actually do a second dining option in the I think they call it the brasserie. It's in the upper level of the buffet, but that's shut down at night. And it's a second specialty dining option just for Yacht Club members. And guys, I thought the food was better even than in the Yacht Club restaurant. It was some of our best food that we ate the entire cruise. We love the Greek restaurant on board, and Italy. I love Italy. I love Italy in Europe. I love it in LA. I can eat at Italy every night for the rest of my life. I'd be a pretty satisfied dude. All right. Love the content. We're doing French Polynesia on the Spirit. Oh, I love the Spirit. She had the most extensive renovation ever done on a cruise ship. If you look at the size and the dollar amount spent, she's in great shape, and she is an incredible cruise. Do Moorea and Bora Bora with an overnight in I think that's Maui, right? Or is that Kauai? No, I think it's Maui there. So I mean, snorkeling is just amazing in that part of the world. Some of the ATV tours, we did an ATV tour in Bora Bora with some snorkeling after, and love that as well. But I would do a water sport, whether you do a catamaran or a snorkel excursion or kind of a beach barbecue. Those are the greatest options there. There we go. Thank you. I'm glad your procedure went well. Of all the places you visited, is there one that truly left you feeling inspired? And what do you think made it stand out? The great Russell Wyatt, hope to cruise with you guys again soon. Great question. So what I'll say is I met my wife when we were students in Salzburg, Austria. So Salzburg it's a charming city. We actually lived in a house on top of the Monksberg, the mountain right in the middle of town. And you've got an old castle there. You've got an old monastery there. And what that city provides is everything that you imagine from a beautiful European town. And so that's my favorite. I'm going to say that provided that ultimate inspiration, but it's a lot to do with, I took my daughter and we spent the summer there when she was 2 years old. I met my wife there. I taught there. I led programs there. So that's really it. But if I had to pick one, just going on a cruise, a city that absolutely kind of knocked my socks off and blew me away, I think, that's a great question there. I know this isn't a port, but I'm going to say Antarctica. And why I say that is it's different than anything I've ever done. And the day that we did the polar plunge was also the day that I got my seventh continent, also the day that I got to hang out with penguins. And so I would say that was, but we've visited some incredible ports in Africa as well. Port Elizabeth was one of those that really kind of opened my mind. Well, anyway, we'll talk more about this over a beer someday soon, Russell. And yeah, thank you for the question. I love that. We're going on the Symphony this summer. Can't wait. Booked through HAR, and it's been very easy. I love that. Our goal is what I always say is the surprises that we want for you when you get on board should all involve the pop of a champagne cork, not having to run and sprint and do your dining or anything else. So our goal is to make sure you're as prepared as you can be. What's the rule with getting off the ship at last stop and not getting back on, like staying in Nassau versus going back to port? So you can apply for that. And in some cases, they can allow a downline. You don't want to do this without permission because it's in some places it's against the law, right? Because you're essentially immigrating into that country without the correct immigration process. So you can get arrested. Please don't do that, right? So what you want to do is reach out to your HAR travel advisor and we can put in an application. We can't guarantee that it'll get approved, but it's a relatively common request. And if they can make it work, we'll make it work. But sometimes they can't because it's a violation of the Passenger Services Act, essentially, Passenger Vessel Services Act, something like that, where, essentially you have to go through customs. All right. We have the USS North Carolina here in Wilmington, and it's freezing. I think I just saw another cruise that Pablo booked for you here in just a couple weeks. So hopefully you won't be as freezing when you hop on that ship there. But I'd love to visit the SS North Carolina. Great to see you back going on the Epic in Europe in May. I saw your videos for the Haven and the rooms, but looks like the full ship tour was taken down. We actually didn't complete the full ship tour. When we were on, they were just getting ready. They did a massive renovation of the Haven, and then they came back like 2 years later and did a renovation of the rest of the ship. we decided not to film it then, just because we didn't want to film a ship that we know was just going in for renovation. Same thing with Ovation of the Seas. We were going to update it, but when she comes back in May, we'll get that ship with the full updates there. So as soon as we can, we'll film the Epic. But my guess is it's going to be a couple months at least. Dude, you're the best at what you do. Thanks. Thank you. I love that. It's a great compliment, guys. I mean, it truly is. One of my favorite moments ever was I was lucky enough to be inducted into the CLIA Hall of Fame, the Cruise Line International Association, for the work that we do. And one of the heads of one of the top cruise lines in the world actually came up to my dad and said that to him. He said, "Your son is the best at what he does." And my dad cried. We cried together because it's such a beautiful thing. And my hope is someday I can say the same for my son, for my daughter. So thank you so much. It's just awesome. Bound to Great. We'll see that. Saw your family last year in May on the Aqua. Great, beautiful ship. It was awesome. And we'll be going on Luna. So maybe we'll see you there as well. And thank you for that. There you go. Found a great 12-night cruise in the Southern Caribbean. It falls on my birthday and Christmas. I'd like to go to style, but my budget will allow it. So I can only afford an inside. Hey, who cares, right? If you can get on board, an inside cabin is going to get you there. And what a great time to celebrate over Christmas. That's an awesome cruise. Let us know. We'll be happy to help you. Do you handle Alaska cruise tours? We do, actually. It's been our fastest growing product this year. And just in case you'd like to check it out, Gary, we filmed the Princess McKinley Lodge, the Princess Fairbanks Lodge, and the Princess the Denali Lodge. We also filmed the Holland America McKinley Chateau. And we did the flight seeing that you could do from Denali. Amazing. Check it out. Check out that video, guys. One of the best things I've ever done in my entire life. We also filmed a couple other excursions in there as well. Did the Yakata Club. I love it. Gin and tonic time. Well, as soon as we're done with this, you better believe I'll be getting a gin and tonic here pretty darn soon. All right. My wife and I watch your videos before we choose any ship or room. Love how thorough the content is. Royal Suites or NCL Haven with kids? Great question. So if they're under 3, always Royal, because NCL doesn't have any drop-off programs for the younger kids. A lot of times for kids, I would say, the bigger Royal ships just have more going on, more to do. But I got to say, my kids love the Haven for a lot of reasons. They love that service, and they've learned how to use a butler. So I think it could be great as well. As always, we'd want a little bit more information about you, your family, which ship, right? Not all Havens are created equal. Not all, Royal ships are created equal as well for families. Thank you for your awesome ship tours. You're the only one my wife and I will watch. I appreciate that, Stephen. Which cruise ships have the best inside cabins? That's a great question. I like Princess. I love that setup with the large walk-in closet. You don't find that in any inside cabins generally. What I'll say in general is newer ships. I think of the new classes of ships, my favorite would be Celebrity. I love, the bathroom's it's large. The shower's huge that I can fit in. And they have that full large, I think it's almost king size bed as well. So I'm going to say Celebrity. Now, of course, if you happen to get one on an Oceania or a luxury brand, those are pretty good too. G'day, mate. My wife and I still haven't been to Egypt yet. We're looking at seeing it ourselves, but would like to see cruise options. I did it with AMA Waterways. We sell a lot of Egypt, and river cruising is the way to go. AMA did an unbelievable job. If you want to check out, we actually filmed the AMA Lilia and the AMA Dahlia. Those are their 2 ships down there. He does a good job there. Uniworld does a good job. Abercrombie and Kent does a great job as well. Lots of fantastic options. Nice to see you streaming now. We saw you disembarking the Bliss from Panama last year. Man, was that an awesome cruise. 15 days through the Panama Canal. The family loved it. We traveled with the Trotters, great family friends of ours. Vince is our president. Bringing the families together and experiencing that trip, one of the best cruises I've ever had in my entire life. So many wonderful memories. I peeked into some NCL Prima inside rooms. Bed looked big. Yeah. No, the new NCL ships do a great job as well. Celebrity, the bathroom's bigger, and I'm a big dude. Do you think cruise ships will stop using artificial dyes in their food? I'd love for them to. I wish everybody would. I hate artificial dyes, and I don't think they're really good for any human being. So, yeah, I'd love to see that. And we'll see as laws and things have changed here in the United States. Maybe it'll flow over, but they won't be guided by that. All right, guys, go ahead and put questions here. I've answered all the ones to this date. Just really quick, if you have any other questions, comments, shout outs for our team, love for you to put that in here, and I'll go to all of them. But I just wanted to put this link back up there. Next week, February 4th, we will be doing a Celebrity Cruises Live. This is an invite only, so you have to click on the link and you have to sign up for it. But if you want to learn about everything Celebrity 25, 26, 27, 28, actually 26, 27, 28, we've got you covered. Also in the in the system that we book cruises. So that's called Espresso for Celebrity. We noticed that today there's a little message that says we're testing the river cruise itineraries right now. So don't book them. Well, what that means is probably in the next week or so, Celebrity is going to be releasing more space for their river cruise product. Super excited about that. What they released for 2027, it's 97% sold out, and it sold out initially within 15 minutes. So if you're interested, let us know. The other thing is in just a few weeks, we're going to be announcing our Har Travel hosted journeys. So if you'd like to join us on one of those, shoot an email over to ce@hartravel.com or info@hartravel.com. We'll put you on our deployment list. We have a great deployment list, so you can add anytime. And let's say you want that unicorn, the 4-bedroom family villa on Royal. We'll notify you the moment it becomes available or leading up to it as soon as we know that it's coming out. So get on our deployment list. That way we can let you know that thing you're looking for, whether it's a Celebrity River Cruise, a Norwegian Haven Suite, the Regent Suite, we got you covered. And click on this link, sign up, join me on the 4th of February. We're giving away a free Celebrity Cruise for 4. And guys, when we do this, we're not giving you, crappy distressed industry or distressed inventory. What we're giving you is a prime 7-night cruise for up to 4 people to Alaska or to the Caribbean. Must be present to win. So, but we'd love for you to do that. Okay, now I'm going to dig back into some questions here. Okay, here we go. Just answered that one. Sorry, I missed your response to Scooter. No worries. The hubby's screaming at Toronto hockey. Well, that's what you should do when you're watching a sports game. So I love that. Which Prima class ship will be sailing to the Med? This year, it's Prima. Well, Prima's doing Northern Europe, and I think she might hit a little Med by the end of the year. And then Viva, because Aqua is right there in. Aqua is in. She's either in New York or Miami. I know they were switching her up, and then Luna comes out to the Caribbean. So it's going to be Viva and Prima. Do you think NCL MDR food quality has decreased in the last year? I'm going to be honest. I haven't dined in the main dining room on Prima class in the last year. The Haven food was fantastic. I've heard yes and no. Overall, the food surveys from Norwegian from our guests are still really high. So I can't really comment to it, but I'll see if I can ask a few more questions around. What don't they have on a cruise ship that you'd personally like to see? I heard back in the day they used to have clay target shooting. That would be crazy. They did have clay target shooting. I don't see that coming back, but on the Norwegian southward, I cruised out of LA and I did target shooting out there. They also used to do golf off the back of the ship. They had these biodegradable golf balls that basically fish food, and you could hit the ball or hit that right off the back of the ship. So I'd love to see skeet shooting coming back because I love doing it, but you can imagine that's not going to happen these days. It's hard to think about this, but they have skydiving on cruise ships. They have race cars on cruise ships. They've got bowling alleys on cruise ships. That's a great question. I don't know. They kind of have just about everything that I'd love. Maybe a more phenomenal zip line that goes down quite a few decks. That could be cool. But I'm going to think about that one too. Kind of stumped me there for a minute. Have you ever stayed in the Brickell area of Miami before a cruise? I have. And though I will say a lot of times we're in Miami, we'll go to Nobu. I love it there. I'm trying to think where we just ate. Oh, you know what? There's a Gordon Ramsay restaurant right there in Brickell, and that's where we dined the last time, and it was phenomenal. But shoot an email over to your Har Travel advisor or our CE team, and I'll look it up because we do have restaurant recommendations for Miami in there. What a great year for cruise lines. 26 is going to be a blast. Agreed. Have you been able to visit Great Stirrup Cay yet? What are your expectations as it finishes? Yeah, we have a video. I've visited many, many times. Haven't been there since the pier was done. We're going to head back in July and film once everything's done. But we're hearing rave reviews of the pool. I love that they have the pier. Guys, Silver Cove is the best experience in the private islands of all the cruise lines. Check out our video to see exactly why. But there's not very many people. You can have your own home, studio, 1 or 2 bedroom house that you can take advantage of. Good food, great drinks. Man, that lagoon. When I think of paradise, I think about swimming around that lagoon with my daughter. Do you have any pre-cruise suggestions in Sydney? Yeah, it depends on how long you're going. I always like to make it out to Bondi Beach. Doing the climb of the Sydney Harbor Bridge, one of the coolest experiences you can possibly imagine. The zoo is phenomenal. A day trip to the Blue Mountains is a great option from there. Even a trip out to Hunter Valley to do some wine tasting. Lots of amazing things in and around Sydney. Do you have any recommendations for shore excursions in Puerto Plata? You know what? I apologize, but I don't. The last several times we stayed on, I'd probably do a resort stay would be my number one. I know there's a great excursion that goes to a waterfall that guests have loved, but, I haven't been there in a while, so I do apologize for that. A shout out to Elaine, truly the best of the best. She's my go-to on every cruise, treats me like family. Thank you for assembling such a great team. I appreciate that. She's amazing, and she's celebrating a very special day as well. So I'll give her that shout out and let her know. Free water bottles. There we go. Anything about the new terminal in Miami? No, they haven't really released much, but they did break ground on it. I believe it's going to be Royal and MSC sharing it, if I remember right. Will you be doing an Alaska group cruise? We definitely will in 2027. Stay tuned. And as I've told everybody, guys, send me an email, danny@hartravel.com, if you have an idea for a hosted group that you'd love for us to do. For example, you could say, we'd love to do Norwegian Encore on the 7-day round trip from Seattle. Let me know. We're picking them now, and we will be getting those out to you probably in about 4 to 5 weeks or so. Is Celebrity Fit kid friendly? And if so, how young is okay in your opinion? Well, my son's first 3 cruises were a back-to-back on the Celebrity Apex when he was 6 months old. And the way that I've always phrased it or heard it phrased is Royal Caribbean is family focused. Celebrity is family friendly. So, the kids club on Celebrity is awesome. I actually prefer the kids clubs on the Solstice class ships over the newest ships, but they do a lot of great programming for them. There's really nothing for 6-month to 36-month-olds, so that's just something to keep in mind. Once they're 3 and potty trained, they've got drop-off kids clubs. There tends to be less kids. My daughter, her favorite kids club experience is on the Edge, the Celebrity Edge. That was her favorite of all time. She built a robot with their STEM program. She played video games. They have a massive light bright on the wall. But I think it's a great product for families. Saying that our room tours are invaluable. I love that. G'day from the Gold Coast, one of the most beautiful spots on planet Earth. In fact, one of my great friends he studied abroad when we were in college. He never came home. He married an incredible woman. They lived there. They raised their kids there in the Gold Coast. I was there. The pool is awesome. Nice washrooms, great hamburgers. Love that. Yeah, we're hearing nothing but great things about Great Stirrup Cay. It's when they're done this summer, I'm just going to put it out there. It will be the best private island experience. Royal does an amazing job, but Cocoa Beach Club's fantastic. Doesn't hold a candle to Silver Cove. All right, getting on the Apex on Saturday, thinking about booking the Silhouette to Bermuda. Do all the corner aft suites have the same size balconies or some bigger than others? They're all pretty much the same. Keep in mind that suite category has the post in there, but they also have the aft suites that aren't on the corner. So they actually have a slightly bigger balcony. The balconies on the corner afts, they're a little on the small side, my opinion. I recommend going down a few decks, maybe doing deck 9 or 10. Those are my favorites. I love the Silhouette. The Silhouette had the most extensive makeover of any celebrity ship ever, and she's in great shape and delivering world-class vacations. Hotel recommendations for Seattle pre-cruise. So one of my favorites is the Edgewater, and if you Google it, there's a picture of the Beatles fishing out their window at the Edgewater. So just a random fun fact there. The Edgewater and the Marriott are right there, right next to the NCLH terminal. So if you're sailing on Norwegian, Oceania, Regent, you'll go from right there. There's some great hotels in Seattle. So, if you're coming in the evening before, we usually stay right at the airport. The DoubleTree is the one I've stayed at most often because they got warm cookies. I mean, come on, DoubleTree, warm cookies, pure happiness, and a free shuttle. If I stay downtown, I love the Fairmont Olympic. It's one of those great classic old school hotels. The Four Seasons is wonderful there as well. The Grand Hyatt we've stayed at a couple times. The Sheraton Grand, I've stayed there a couple times as well. But we have a list that we can send out. And of course, if you booked with Har Travel, we're happy to help you book that. Best cruise line for all-inclusive suite level experiences, but somewhat affordable. An option like retreat with Celebrity or go with one of the cheaper rooms on the luxury lines. Well, that's a great question. I mean, the truth is, if you're looking at like Regent, there aren't any cheap rooms, but the lower cost rooms and the all-inclusive benefit, getting your excursions, everything there, unbelievable value. But what I would say is you may want to check out, well, if you're talking about best, I think it's the Haven. I really do. If you're looking at maybe the best value right now, check out the Yacht Club with MSC, especially World America and MSC Seashore Seascape. Seascape is very similar to Seashore. We have those filmed, but that's a tremendous value right now. General thoughts on cruises with no port stops. We have a Disney Adventure booked and don't know what to expect on that sort of itinerary. I think it's great. Those are short itineraries and that ship has so much to do. But I'm totally good with it. I love sea days. I love cruises that have long sea days. We've done quite a few transatlantics. We're doing our first Trans-Pacific coming up as well. So I'm great. And if you look at that ship, there's about 8 million things Disney related to do on board. Norwegian Luna coming out of Miami. She will be. She will be. And then I think she repositions to Canaveral. But when Ara comes out in 2027, she'll be sailing out of Miami as well. Go here. Just did that. Went to Kuza at Cozumel last week. Beautiful, calm, clear water. Once the water park is done, you should definitely try it. Yeah, sounds good to me. And also the brand new Royal Beach Club, Cozumel. You're going to find me there at the end of this year. Always wanted to go on an inaugural cruise with NCL. Are they more expensive? Actually, they're not. Well, sometimes they are. In this case, they're not. And one of the nice things is because, they do pre-inaugurals and things like that. The first real one is actually a shorter cruise, which makes it even more better price. We took our 6-year-old daughter on the Edge to Alaska. She loved it. Agreed. She's got great taste. I love to hear that. Love Har Travel are the best. And my travel advisor, Michelle, is the absolute best. Love that. I was just talking to Michelle a few minutes ago. Love that name that you've got on there as well, Jay. All right. I have a cruise on Ascent in 3 weeks. We have an upgraded dinner package, 2 dinners in one. What's your best recommendation for the 3 upcharge dinners and lunch? So I would definitely try. I mean, I think one of the best meals I've ever had in my life was at Le Voyage. So if you love French cuisine, and it's kind of a classic and modern take on French, make sure you do it. You do have to pay additional for that. Same thing with the Eden, right? Eden's one of the best meals I've ever had. It's delicious. You do pay a bit more, but those are kind of the 2 fine dining experiences. I love Ron 5, but it's really hard to beat a classic steakhouse. So Fine Cut is a great steakhouse experience as well. If you want to have some fun, it's at the Le Petit Chef is right there in the French restaurant for dinner. You get dinner and a show. They project it down onto the plates. The little chefs give you history and learn about food. It's fantastic. I love it. Will also be a land tour with the Alaska cruise. For our hosted one, we're still working on it. So I'll let you know. And if not, the following year, we definitely will do one with a land tour. We're tentatively working with Princess on one right now, and then we're also working with Celebrity on one. So I'll let you know where we land on it. Thanks, Danny. First time catching live. Room tours are the best. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. No, thank you for that so much. All right, guys, if you have any last-minute questions, stick them on here. I'll stay on and answer them. But it's been an absolute treat to join today. Once again, next week, same time, same place, we'll be doing a Cruise News Live. answer all your questions. Keep them coming here. And then, of course, on the 4th, we'll be doing that celebrity live, giving away a cruise. Click on the link and sign up. We got one more question in here. Any benefit to transferring a cruise that's directly booking? Book? Absolutely. So first off, each cruise line has its parameters, but if it's eligible to transfer, we'll add our amenities, and then you get world-class service from start to finish. Keep in mind, the cruise lines work for their shareholders. We work for you. So we're going to help you pick the perfect cruise. And then once you get there, we're going to give you truly unbiased opinions, right? I'm going to tell you the honest truth. We're going to support you throughout. So I always say we can advise, advocate, and support. Send that over to info at hartravel.com or ce@hartravel.com. We'll check it out. If we can transfer it over, we'd love to add the amenities that we can provide for you and then take great care for out. Any inside scoop on Legend? So just what we shared, that she's coming out one more week earlier. So we're excited for that. And also, she's going to be truly legendary. We're so excited for everything Legend of the Seas. 2-story casino, that's new. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory is fantastic as well. But if you like, we did a full deep dive into that with our Royal live stream, and we'll do another Royal one next month where we'll give away a cruise. Is dining different on European cruises on the same ship? In some cases, yes. In some cases, no. So most of the cruise lines adjust their menus for the locations that they're visiting. They might do a special celebration of sorts. Celebrity, the bazaar in the back of the ship, they have specific menus based on where you are in the world as well. I have a question for you. I just got information from Pablo providing private curated excursions on my GEM cruise. Is it best for you to book or the company? So you can book it through our link. Pablo probably sent you a link. You can book it through that, or we can help you book it. If you do that, we do get credit. They pay us a commission. But more than that, we can support you if you have any questions or need anything there. So happy to do it. All right. Talking about quality of dining. No, I mean, it's just different. Like the mayonnaise they have over there, way better than the mayonnaise we have here. So they source things differently. Sometimes they might not have a certain alcohol because they can't get it. But no, I think the food is great in both locations. All right. Thank you. Love it. Well, all right, guys, we're closing in on an hour. I love the time here today. Have a wonderful day. I hope you all warm up wherever it is that you are. Stay safe. Reach out to us when you're ready to book. And of course, for now, ciao for now.